Welcome to Layer the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. On today's episode, another in my series of heavy hidden gems from the 70s. This is where I take a moment to discuss some heavy underground albums, proto-metal, proto-doom that may have flown underneath the radar that never achieved super mainstream success. So the band that I've picked for today is Buffalo and their 1973 album Volcanic Rock. Now you may be saying to yourself, always in my videos I always hold up the album cover. Well, I do have the album back here, but the album cover is, well, let's just say I run a family-friendly show here, so you're going to have to go look up this album cover yourself. It's really interesting. It's got sort of this androgynous looking dude, naked dude on top of a volcano with a bunch of, shall we say, phallic symbols and stuff thrown in there. So after you're done watching the video, go check it out and you can see for yourself. But I have opened up here the inside of the gatefold. It's got a lot of really cool pictures of the band here, and this is a reissue album. This is pretty easy to find as a reissue. You can find it on eBay. So the album was released in 1973 on Vertigo Records. Buffalo is a band from the land down under Australia, the land that brought us AC/DC, or as the locals would say, Akadaka. Even though Buffalo predates AC/DC by a couple years, and I kind of wonder if this band was an influence at all on AC/DC, because they are very blues-based, heavy riffing band. Not unlike, if I were to make some comparisons, maybe Blue Cheer or Mountain. But it's just, this album is chock full of really heavy guitar riffs. I love the vocals on this from David Tice. Tice, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. He's got a really kind of a thick, a little bit of gravel and grit to his voice, real heavy blues style. It's got Peter Wells on bass. The bass sounds great on this record. Peter would go on to play guitar with Rose Tattoo, another really big Australian heavy blues rock band. John Baxter on guitar. There's a lot of really great guitar playing on here. There's a lot of spots on the record where the guitar just sort of stretches out and he plays extended guitar solos, mostly blues based, but he stretches outside the box a little bit every now and then. Jimmy Economo, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly, on drums, and he's got a lot of great heavy grooving riffs on this album. The record was produced by Spencer Lee, and I would say it's a pretty, it's definitely not a slick recording. It's pretty kind of dry and up in your face, but it sounds great to me. It's a good early 70s heavy rock record. There's not a lot of frills on this. Supposedly the band basically just played live in the studio, and then they just sort of punched in a few little guitar things here and there, but that's kind of what it sounds like. It's just a good live, raw, heavy rock, early 70s rock, proto-metal recording. So the album starts with Sunrise, Coming My Way, which is a heavy driving rocker full of some heavy riffs, great guitar sound. Man, I love the guitar sound on this record. Great old school 70s style guitar, man, just a cranked amplifier, just the way I like it. Next is Freedom. It's got this heavy, repeating, sort of ominous bass riff, and then in the middle of the song there's kind of an extended guitar solo that goes over this repeating bass line. Really cool. The bass sounds great on this record. It's got a little bit of distortion on it, in kind of like a Jack Bruce or Mountain, Felix Pappalardi kind of way. Till My Death is next, and it starts off with a really neat bluesy call and response thing where the guitar and the vocals, guitar is playing like a single note right along with the vocals. Someday I'll be coming my way. And then the band comes in, boom, bang, you know, and he keeps this up for a little bit, this sort of call and response thing. Also, at the end of the song, there's a guitar solo where everything stops and the guitar just sort of goes off and plays himself, and then a big, you know, hit loud chord at the end of it. So really cool song. Again, really showing off Dave Tishy's voice, and just he's got this really awesome, like, sort of intensity and grit to his voice. Next, The Prophet. It's kind of a funky, bluesy number. It's got this sort of groovy riff to it, and the lyrics are really cool. They're about Moses, old man Moses. He knows what it's all about. You know, some cool lyrics to it, and it's got a really long solo section in this one. Another spot where John Baxter really stretches out and shows his chops. And then next we have what's called Intro, Pound of Flesh, which is a 4.5 minute instrumental where just guitar solo really, and it's bluesy and even a little jazzy, stretches out a little bit outside the sort of typical blues guitar box, and it's just a long guitar solo over a steady kind of ostinato repeated bass line, and then it goes right into Shylock, maybe my favorite song on the record, which is a fast driving one. Ooh, Shylock! You know, and again, those sort of gritty, aggressive vocals, and it's got a really ripping lead guitar solo in it. So this is a really cool, heavy hidden gem, man. If you like that sort of late 60s, early 70s heavy guitar rock, it also brings to mind Randy Holden and his album, which is, I'm going to be doing a video on that too, which is a really sort of doomy, heavy riffing from Randy Holden, and this is kind of similar to that sort of heavy blues riffing, really heavy guitar. So if you're into that kind of thing, I highly recommend that you check this album out, Buffalo, Volcanic Rock. It is a really great heavy hidden gem. So all right, let me know in the comments if you've heard this record. Now I used to be on Spotify, and I had a heavy hidden gems playlist on Spotify, but I've since moved to Amazon Music HD, and I have a heavy hidden gems of the 70s public playlist on Amazon Music that you can look up, and I put these Buffalo and a lot of the other bands that I've covered and bands that I will be covering are on that playlist, so you can check them out there. So I'll also try to leave a link down below, maybe to a YouTube video of a song from Buffalo, so you can check them out, because it is a really great hidden gem there. So all right, let me know in the comments if you've heard Buffalo, or go check them out. Come back, let me know what you think. Make sure you hit a like and subscribe, and until we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal.